Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of The Gavel, featuring attorney Anna Toledo. Ms. Toledo is the senior attorney and general counsel to Targeted Justice. She has a background in constitutional and environmental law and is an experienced litigator, including 2 cases at the U.S. Supreme Court. And here's Ms. Toledo.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 38 of The Gavel, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news on our quest to end government weaponization, as well as the mission for freedom that I carry out from Washington, D.C. I am your host, Ana Toledo, an attorney that I have more than 30 years experience litigating way back in Puerto Rico and then in Houston. And now I have moved to Washington, D.C., to continue the fight as Analog Ana in person and someone that cannot be hacked. I have a good story about that later towards the end of the show, so please do not go away. As you know, my goal is to expose the program of government weaponization, because once it is exposed, people sometimes don't understand that once it is exposed, it can no longer operate, because the basis of its operation is because it's supposed to be covert and the plausible deniability. Once it's out in the open, none of those two works. Nobody can continue colluding with them. So please understand the importance and feel inspired and motivated to expose it, but in an intelligent manner. You know, don't go with like the deep dive stuff when you're trying to red pill an army about it. There is a lot of stuff to cover right now, but before we go in there, I'm not going to have a verse from the Bible today, because I'm going to have something better. As many of you may have seen, Jelly Roll, the country singer, won a Grammy, and his acceptance speech, or his gratitude speech, was so beautiful that's what I'm going to have here today, because I couldn't have done it better.
Days that I thought the darkest things, I was a
hold on. I wanted to just do a little intro, and is that I believe it's my personal opinion that he's targeted. And if you look at one of his the songs that is in the album that he won for country singer, he talks about the voices in his head and about this depression and this sadness. So here it is, his beautiful, beautiful speech.
There was a time in my life, y'all, that I was broken. That's why I wrote this album. I didn't think I had a chance, y'all. There was days that I thought the darkest things, I was a horrible human. There was a moment in my life that all I had was a Bible this big and a radio the same size and a 6x8 foot cell. And I believed that those two things could change my life. I believed that music had the power to change my life, and God had the power to change my life. And I want to tell y'all right now, Jesus is for everybody. Jesus is not owned by one political party. Jesus is not owned by no music label. Jesus is Jesus, and anybody can have a relationship with him. I love you, Lord.
Yeah, I love you, Lord. I cannot say it. I cannot say it better than that. And that's what I have told many of you, that this program, the only way you can survive the atrocities that we get to live through this program is holding on to Jesus. So, and there are many good news for you today. So let's just go straight into it. Please share, like, and subscribe. Remember, the censorship is off the charts, and I can prove it. I'm going to write an article about it, how completely censored we are, even in platforms that purport to be free First Amendment protective, like X. No, it's all a psyop. It's not happening. So I really depend on you to counteract that censorship. Well, the first thing that I have to mention, and I'm just going to mention in passing, is Epstein. Everybody's speaking about it, and I cannot fathom being such a horrific, such an evil, satanic individual. There's a special place in hell for him and all his comrades. But there has been some good information that has transpired in terms of the targeting program. And kudos to B, who has been scrutinizing through I think it's 3 million documents that have been put out there. I'm going to give you the link so that I cannot dive into it because I don't have the time. I have so much work to do, but it would be really good if you follow Eve's footsteps and go in there. One of the persons that I even did a presentation for you today and everything. One of the persons that did go into it found it really interesting, documents that make reference to the targeting program. This in particular is in Australia. They mention an Australia university, and it's sort of like a diary of what they're doing to a targeted individual, or some of them. And what I find interesting is that I think this is how your files, when you finally get what the criminals at the Fusion Center have called on you, and the notes on you, I think this is how it's going to look, because it's not written from the perspective of a TI. Rather, it's written from a perspective of the people perpetrating the abuse. So I urge you to go into the Epstein files and just, if you type targeted individual, you'll come up with like 12 results of data sets, and it might be really interesting for you to see those. So I'm not going to talk anymore about that because there are many good things that has nothing to, other than exposure. It really doesn't have much to do. But this one, you see, talks about government and police targeting of an individual 15 to 50 years of age, unusual disturbances in the home, victim. When you read it, it's so close to home that it's it's legit. It's not made up. Anyways, so please, for those of you that are interested in doing the research, go for it. Now, what this piece of the documents evince is that there are detailed records of the psyops and the torture they do on you, because these criminals, they keep even the last text messages they stole from your phone. And so you really have to do your Privacy Act requests both on DHS and FBI. And if you don't think you can do it, like Jill Amack, she's in our advisory board, she has so much experience with the little tricks these people are doing, that if you want to hire her services, she's a professional editor and paralegal. So you can reach her at gltj@proton.me. And what I do ask you as a special favor is this: we're all hacked and we're all victims of this horrific program. So when you ask somebody for, to provide you services with something, well, be kind. Don't be a difficult person. That's all I have to say. Be kind. Treat others as you want them to treat you. Nothing much to ask. Remember, we are mind controlled to not be easy to get along with. Now, the defamation of Tulsi. This is great because she's such a warrior. Tulsi is so over the target. She is so over the target that Wall Street Journal printed a hit piece on her, and they buried, like paragraph number 13 or something like that. They said that there was a whistleblower attacking her for, I don't even know what. Yeah, for her participation in being in Fulton County, supervising that the FBI, people did the things right, because we know they cannot get anything right. Well, somebody at ODNI did a complaint against her, but the Biden appointed Inspector General cleared her of any wrongdoing. So I don't know if it was about that or about what it was, but the thing is that the Democrat vice chair of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, remember, Tom Cotton is the chair, and the vice chair is Senator Mark Warner from Virginia, which we know is completely controlled by the CIA, who's offices are there, right? He wrote Tulsi a letter, which she batted with a home run letter back. Okay. And here I put in there what she replied. She said, I had to be there because interference in U.S. elections is a threat to our republic and a national security threat. That's the only sentence, actually. It was a 2-page answer. That's the only sentence she had to include because it's the truth, right? But she didn't stay just at that. What is important for you and me in that communication is the following. You see this here? It's the following, that I don't have it there, but I'm going to read it to you. She explained in her letter that in the 12 FBI offices across the country, in 12 of them, including the Atlanta field office, the senior FBI official, assistant director in charge, or special agent in charge has a dual hat. He also serves as domestic DNI representative. The Domestic DNI Representative Program was established in 2011 through a memorandum of understanding between the FBI and ODNI. So domestic DNI reps are distributed by region and focus on specific domestic issues of concern or interest, including threats to critical infrastructure. I have visited several of my domestic DNI reps at the FBI offices across the country. So under this program, there are 12 designated field offices that have that dual hat, that share the information, including the TSDB information, with ODNI, because it's about threats, right? Well, these offices, according to Grok, these offices are Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Denver, Houston, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, and Seattle, and Washington, D.C. So this makes it even more important that you also send your privacy ad request to ODNI. But remember, that one has to contain an attestation statement, and it has to be notarized. And I included also my ID. And if you don't have any idea of what I'm talking about, go to targetedjustice.com/legal/privacy act, and you will see there everything I am talking to you about. Or if not, you can contact Jill can assist you in preparing you ones. Now, I really I was upset in the beginning, but now I'm not so upset, because I think, you know how I've always told you, when something bad happens, it really sometimes happens for a good reason. Well, turns out that our favorite person, Ed Martin, who was the director of the Weaponization Committee, has been fired, has been removed by Democrat, because he's a registered Democrat until 2024, Todd Blanche, who is the Deputy Attorney General. He did not consult Donald Trump, who originally wanted Ed Martin to be the district attorney for Washington, D.C., but Rhino Senator Tom Tillis threatened that he would not allow his confirmation. So remember, the executive order against government weaponization was signed on January 20th. They have to comply with it, and the Attorney General's office has a duty to comply with it. Well, the news report said that Todd Blanche had fired him, but on Monday, he posted, I like him so much. He posted that, he posted the following. He said, he posted, "Can't stop fighting," meaning he's not going to stop. Maybe he's going to do it from another office. I wish he was given some sort of special prosecutor job where he could have his own office, his own staff, his own budget, and he could go after the criminals that did the weaponization. Well, there are some good news of the evidence that is coming out. And let me show you what this is about. Number one, we have that an attorney, a counsel for Todd Blanche, was recorded, and this is a credit of Emerald Robinson. She's so awesome. saying that parents that protest at school boards are terrorists. Get a load. We knew that they were categorized as terrorists, but get a load of this. This is the kind of people that are still are right now in the DOJ. That is why the America First and the reversal of the weaponization cannot end, because there are people like this still at the DOJ. Listen to this guy.
When you put stuff out into the biosphere of the media that says you better do something by January 15th or else,
Hold on.
my response is
Let me
somebody
put it in the beginning. I'm sorry. Here,
I think these politics are easy, because who's going to believe a school mom is a terrorist? I mean, honestly.
Well, and I agree with you on that. When you put stuff out into the biosphere of the media that says you better do something by January 15th or else, my response is somebody who was a journalist and has a master's degree in terrorism. So my response, as well as the whole DOJ, was, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Do not threaten us.
Where was the threat?
That was Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's general counsel, a former judge named Vance Day, calling parents targeted by Democrat officials, including the Biden regime DOJ, terrorist.
There you have it. He is calling parents that protest at school board terrorists for sending a letter demanding action to stop the weaponization. And this person here is, I don't negotiate with terrorists. This is the kind of people that Todd Blanche has in DOJ. And until Donald J. Trump removes him, nothing is going to get better. The good news is there's people working towards getting him out of there. Now, this one is really going to blow your mind, because it's out in the open. There's nothing else to hide. Listen to this. This was in Alex Jones' show, Pete Santilli. He put it out there. You
Clinton, this grand.
Hold on. There we go. You're going to just love this.
Yes. And from Bundy Ranch, we determined that when they deem us to be domestic terrorists, it's for the purposes of surveilling us. Comey, Brennan, Clapper, Clinton, this grand conspiracy, they built their own NSA.
There you have it. It's out in the open. The reason for labeling us domestic terrorists is to do surveillance. And of course, as you know, the surveillance is to be able to send the citizen corps goons, the infraguard goons, to spy on you so that they can frustrate every single little thing you try to accomplish. It's out in the open. No more secrets, right? I think it's, this is, see, you have to see everything like little grains of salt that are making a huge dune. That's the way I see it. Okay. And you had not seen this kind of thing happening before 2025. We were just hitting, walls. And now it's everywhere. And wait till you see this, what I have here for you. So, Todd Blanche needs to go. I have a personal beef because he let the indicted former governor of Puerto Rico walk, and then Trump pardoned her. So that's one thing that I really bothers me, because if you want to fight corruption and you want to say, you're anti-corruption, how can you act contrary to that, right? So let's just hope that Ed Martin is doing what he wants to do, which is end the lawfare and end the weaponization. Now, this is really good. For those of you that don't know, Mike Cernovich, he's an attorney and he's an influencer. He has like 1.4 million followers on Twitter. And he was just livid that in the course of another case, he found out that in 2017, the FBI had opened an investigation into him. And so here's the coincidence. In 2017, that's when he started, I guess, writing and preparing documentary that came out in 2019 had a lot of legal hurdles to come out, and it's maybe some of you have heard of it, and everybody gave it amazing reviews. It's called Hoax, and it's everything they told you is a lie or similar variations. Everything he told you is a lie, and then it's about the media's war on truth. He basically was exposing the Mockingbird media and how they just lied to everybody. So it was an insider's examination of fake news phenomenon. This was in 2017 when he started, I guess, researching and writing it, right? And he had people in one of my favorite, may he rest in peace, Scott Adams was one of them that appeared in the show. And other important people appeared. Cassie J, Stefan Molyneux, Cernovich himself, Alex Jones appeared in this documentary. It was so true and important and well done that Amazon, that maintains the CIA's servers, well, Amazon stopped selling the movie, and he was really upset about it, rightfully so, because it's censorship. Jeff Bezos and Amazon CIA contracts made it so that they discontinued the sale. But the reason why I'm talking to you about all of this is because something really important happened, is that this week, Cernovich, as part of, he is upset about the fact of the entirely redacted warrants against James O'Keefe. And he started talking about, first of all, he's been reading of the FBI files on me, a sham investigation in 2017. Why don't you release all of these Stasi documents, FBI Director Cash? And he continues, the agency you now lead acted as a secret police. This was in February 2nd. You have to look at it. And then he went on and said, I want to see my file. My life was put through hell, all based on lies and unlawful spying. I shouldn't even have to ask. I have done so privately and politely for over a year. Cash is choosing to protect the wrongdoers within the agency. That cannot be denied anymore. And then the one thing that he said, some movement is happening with regards to the spying operation here in this one here, with the spying operation. I will rely on others to act in good faith. This is really bad stuff from the FBI. They use mentally ill people. Does this sound familiar? They used mentally ill people as confidential human sources. They didn't vet anything, and then they spied. I know this to be true because they put fake friends and honeypots that are crazy psychopaths. And this is exactly what he's denouncing, those confidential human sources. Because you know what? A person that has dignity and that has complete mental competence does not do this kind of shenanigan. Anyways, why is this good for us? Because it's out on the open that the FBI is a Stasi police. It's no longer a secret. And it's no longer a secret that Kash Patel is protecting what the criminals, Comey, Brennan, Clapper, Ray, did before him. And that cannot stand. He needs to come clean and just put it out there. The reason I believe he's not doing it is because he realizes that the ticket, the price tag for the United States is going to be in the billions. And he's too scared of being transparent about it. That's what I believe. But as you know, Liz Crokin, the journalist who exposed Pizzagate, she's a very courageous woman. She's targeted, and she's been exposing it too. So you watch, a lot of people are exposed. A lot of people with influence are exposing it. So this can no longer, like I said in the beginning of this, once it's exposed, it can no longer fly. Okay? Now wait until people like Cernovich, who is a very intelligent attorney, finds out that he's in the 75% of handling code 2, that he is one of the FISA 702 subjects, and that he has been subtly being microwaved and probably RNM'd, and probably has sustained physical degradation, accelerated physical degradation, and he couldn't explain why. And this is the reason why. Wait till he finds that out. It's going to be epic. Anyways, now I want to show you something I'm really very proud of. This week, Analog Anna went to Congress. And here it is. I went to listen in to a hearing where the director of the NIH was going to testify regarding the budget for the NIH. And I put that picture there because they immediately assigned Gestapo, Capitol Police to watch over me, as if that intimidated me. You know, I have been to lawyer continuing legal education, and they put the bomb sniffing dogs in front of me to try to intimidate me. I'm not kidding. I can put that under penalty of perjury. Anyways, so here you have the cop, the Capitol cop, but I just laughed. He had like, I don't know, they were probably fake because they were too big to be real, but like diamond little earrings there. Okay, so then who was the witness? Well, Mr. Dr. Jay Bhattacharya. And there, right under the, Dr. Bear says, and behind Dr. Bhattacharya is Anna Toledo lurking in the public. Yeah, because I was carrying my materials. And I am happy to report, particularly for those people that trusted me and sent me your affidavits, I personally delivered to his hands your affidavits, and those of you that provided me the diagnostic paper, I did too, the 15 of them. And I said to him, this is a problem. It's not just federal employees, civilians are suffering from Havana syndrome. It is very painful. And there's the evidence here of a child. And I also gave him the civilian registry prepared by Dr. Lambert. And I also gave him the petition that we mailed it priority mail. But since I know that there are so many gatekeepers, he might have never seen it. So as you know, my mantra is now they know. Now they cannot say they did not know. He's a very kind and he's got class, a classy man. So I just wanted to give you those great news because that is huge. That is what is the importance of Analog Anna. They cannot hack me. They cannot, put a sign on top of me saying she's a criminal, because when people see me, they realize I'm not. You cannot fake not being a criminal. Can't fake it. In fact, I couldn't even fake being a criminal if I wanted to fake it, because I just don't know how you do that. But you can just see it. And this is the kind of person that probably can see through it. And I just wanted to thank all of you that gave me your affidavits, because now they are in the possession. I personally handed them to the director of the National Institutes of Health. And that's why I'm here for. I am not going to stop. Every day I'm always thinking of the new thing to do or the new hearing to go, or, every day I work 7 days a week on this. Okay. So it might not happen as fast as we want it to happen, but it's happening. So I was just so delighted about that, because it's a huge thing that NIH tackles the problem of civilian Havana syndrome, because it completely changes the narrative. It's no longer about Russia or China, even though they are not about attribution. They are about merely issuing guidance so doctors across the nation can diagnose you in Iowa or in Nevada or wherever, hoping that there are honest doctors that we are seeing them, like Mary Tyler Bowden in Houston, like Dr. Moore in Utah. We are seeing them few and far between, but there are some honest physicians out there that if they had a guidance, maybe they could do what needs to be done. Anyways, so I want to thank all of you, not just you that sent me the affidavits, but also you that made it possible for me to be here and be doing what I'm doing. I don't know if you already know, but I have decided to stay for a longer time because I don't think it's realistic to think, I hope the weapons are shut down tomorrow, but even if they were, there's a lot of work to be done because one of my missions is when this program is shut down, then we have to tackle the program regarding the people outside of the United States that are not protected by the United States Constitution. And then we have to deal with the retribution, the compensation, the medical treatment, trying to give back as most as possible of that what was taken from you. We will never be made whole again, but that is the idea, to be able to build a path where that can happen, So I continue to appreciate your donations because this mission, as you know, all I do is to, pay for my expenses here, but it is very much appreciated. Now, I want to talk about a very important initiative that Targeted Justice is embarking on, and it is about the power of intention. It was announced in the newsletter today, and I urge you all to participate in it. Every Saturday, we're going to start with Saturdays at noon Eastern time. And I will send a reminder 5 minutes before in Facebook and in Instagram and on Twitter, on X, saying dedicate the next 5 minutes, okay, to prayer or meditation with this intention of shutting down the program. Achieving large-scale societal goals. There is research that suggests, like reducing crime, violence. There is research that corroborates that meditation and focus groups focusing on that intention accomplishes results. So what we are proposing is to have a unified meditation or prayer at noon Eastern time, and we'll have also in Asia Pacific, we'll use the noon in Melbourne, Australia. We depend on Helen to coordinate that notification to the people. And basically, it would be for you to join us virtually each Saturday at noon. And you can just close your eyes, quiet your mind, and you basically repeat positive affirmations for 5 to 10 minutes. You can craft your own, or you can say something, to yourself. The targeting program has ended. I am now completely free. Targeting is over, and I walk in full freedom and peace for 5 minutes. Boom. My life is mine again. All targeting has permanently ceased. My happiness has returned. The targeting is finished forever. These are just suggestions. You craft the one that feels organic to you. It doesn't cost us anything, and it can make a world of difference. So let's just try it. Because thank you, Lord. We know that no prayer goes unheard. You know that. And we just have to do it from the bottom of our hearts. Okay, so let's just emphasize the core truth that the program is over, while shifting focus to your present power, protection, and positive future. Now, I want to thank everybody for those of you that know about my birthday is this month, and I'm celebrating the month because Targeted Justice newsletter it made a mistake in terms of the date. My birthday is celebrated on President's Day, and the reason why I'm celebrating the month is there's many reasons for it. Most important is because, as I have told you so many times, we are walking miracles. We have defeated military grade weaponry. And yeah, we have taken a lot of hits. Yeah, that's true. We have suffered a lot. We still do. I mean, you see me here and I smile and I am encouraging you because I believe it, not because I'm lying to you. But here's the thing. I also get sad. I also get down, but I pick myself up because I'm not going to let them win. And that's what you should do too. And so for this entire month, I'm going to be celebrating my birthday month because I am convinced it's going to be the last birthday I will spend as a modern day slave. And I urge you to do the same. Celebrate your entire birthday month because we are warriors that we have overcome what no other person that is not targeted could overcome. I mean, the things that we have overcome are just unfathomable. So that's why I'm not just celebrating one day, I'm celebrating the entire month. Thank you for the beautiful messages you've sent me. I am reading each and every one of them and trying to answer before the end of the month. And also, they have been deleting subscribers from Substack. So if you are subscribed, please check your subscription because that's, the criminals are doing everything they can to destroy us financially. And, we have to not make it easy on them. So just check your subscription and make sure that, if you are subscribed, you want to be subscribed, do so. And also, I saw today on X, and I need to mention it because for me, it's almost as bad as being, as the Epstein pedophiles and rapists and murderers. Somebody who promises to take you out of the program for money. Those are scammers. Please do not fall for it. I know you're desperate. But please go read targetedjustice.com or targetedjustice.substack.com, and you will realize that anybody offering taking you off the program or off the list is not only lying to you, but it's going to cheat you and steal from you and scam you. Don't fall for it. I can't understand why people still fall for it. I know it's a desperation, but if you want to waste your money, go right ahead. It's not going to do anything. This is run by the CIA criminals in the Denver headquarters that we are intent of shutting them down because their operation is illegal in the United States. I had more material, but I wanted to keep it down, not so long. So I will save it for next week, where I really hope you join me because I know that there is no stopping this train. There is no stopping freedom. And we're going to be there at the end, at the finish line, celebrating, like I wrote to Craig today. I said, we're going to be there at the finish line celebrating, all of us. Okay. So thank you so much for being here. Let me just check. If you haven't submitted your don't call it FOIA. I want you to reframe your brain. It's not a FOIA. FOIA is information about third parties. And it's not as encompassing and does not give you as many rights because they can raise the exceptions as a Privacy Act request. In a Privacy Act request, you are demanding to see the records that the agency has on you because you have an absolute right to demand correction if any of those records are incorrect. So stop calling them FOIA because they're not FOIA. They're not about third parties. They are about yourself. And this is why the FBI is really nervous. They have been hacking Jill, who is doing such an amazing job, because they don't want those Privacy Act requests to get there. Why? Let me remind you and let me repeat myself. because Chuck Grassley exposed the prohibited access and restricted access files where they put your nomination form and the little diary, like what we just saw recently here in the show, which is the entries of the torture and the psyops that they did on you, and the photographs and the recordings and everything they have on you. Okay. Furthermore, we have the Christine Crowder nomination form that was revealed by Rand Paul. Why is this important? Please listen, because I don't want to have to repeat this again. This is so very important for each and every one of you. Christine Crowder was in Handling Code 3. She is the wife of a federal air marshal. That is how she learned that she was on the TSDB. Now, she didn't get the 4 S's when she traveled. So she had no clue she was targeted. She was classified as a domestic terrorist, as a suspected terrorist. So now, with that revealed documents from Rand Paul, what happens is the following. They cannot say, no, we're not going to give them to you, because they gave them to Christine Crowder. They cannot say, we cannot confirm or deny, because there is a precedent that they have illegal nomination forms on non-terrorists. They have to certify to you, under penalty of perjury, that there is no such document with your name at the agency. So please do not delay. Go to targetedjustice.com, see the form there, write it, send it through through priority mail, and or hire Jill. She runs her independence thing, but do it, because this is the exposure that they cannot control. With those 2 exposures by Chuck Grassley and Rand Paul, it's game over for the FBI criminals. Okay, they cannot continue and you need to copy the language there, because what they're doing, because they did it to one TI that I saw the reply they gave her. They are only searching in the central record system to deny it. No, you are not going to accept that, because it's in the Sentinel system, the entire Sentinel, where the criminal info in the prohibited access and restricted access. Also, in the Targeted Justice page, you can also find a format for an appeal. It's not legal advice. Remember, this is an administrative thing, but you can copy it from there. There is no reason for any of you to not have done that, and I hope you all submitted your comments to the Quiet Skies investigation. These are opportunities. Like I said, opportunities come, and if you don't take them, they're gone. So you need to take advantage. If you haven't sent your comments to the Quiet Skies, you need to send them. Rand Paul needs to know that they didn't just do it to Christine Crowder, that they have done it to hundreds of thousands of innocent Americans for profit and for human trafficking. Okay, well, I have nothing else. I don't think I have anything. I hope you remember frequency transceiver. Look, I'm going to tell you something, you guys, and this comes from the bottom of my heart. I don't want to hear anything that your V2K says. And if you write me what your V2K says in Twitter, I'm going to mute you. I'm sorry. I don't give this much to the criminals. The one thing that has kept me going is I have the Zapper, the Armando Target Source Zapper, and the Silent Night. Without these 2, I carry them everywhere because I don't want the criminals to do anything to them. Thank you, George. Thank you, Jesus. On February 14th, it's the second Saturday of the month. We're going to have a meeting here in DC in the Martin Luther King Library. So for those of you in the area, please come to the meeting. I'll do the live stream, but it's important. It's important that criminals are trying to break that which we make, and we're not going to let them. We're not going to let them do it. Okay. Thank you, Anna, Michael. Dr. Giles Cruz. Yeah. Well, I don't look. My personal opinion regarding Dr. Cruz is he's like, um, there's no escaping this. There's the end of the world. I don't ascribe to that. Anybody that tells you that there's no escaping this and that it's the end of the world and that there's no way to that we can, they're lying to you, because the only one that could say that would be God. You know, everything is in God's hands. Yeah, we have to do our part. But anybody that tells you, some TIs are mind control to say, I don't know why you bother, because that's a mind control, because the criminals don't want us fighting back. But we're never going to stop fighting back until we're free. And that's what you need to be so convinced of, that what they want you is to just simply sit and say, oh, it's no use. That's what they want. When you do that, they win. They don't want you fighting back. So yeah. I don't, anybody who is pessimistic and it's the end of the world, I don't watch that. I watch nice, happy things. Thank you, Shonda. Which doctor diagnosed in Houston, Texas? No, we don't have that yet. The reason why we gave a petition to the NIH director is because we want the NIH to issue guidance so that physicians around, and Dr. Lambert did an incredible, amazingly awesome petition that you can read in targetedjustice.com/Lambert. The petition is there. You can read it. And it specifically asks, give out the instructions so that doctors around the nation can diagnose Havana syndrome. Because so far it's Dr. Hoffer that many of you may know, but he has been prohibited from diagnosing any more civilians. He said to one of our TI friends that the government prohibited him from diagnosing any more civilians. So if you want the list of the 5 doctors, including him, but they are in the Dr. Lambert tab in Targeted Justice. I urge you to look at it towards the bottom. I think there's 5 doctors there that diagnose, but I don't think any of them are in Houston. Okay. Thank you, Kimberly. I speak the truth. I cannot lie, I honestly believe what I say. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here. And I want you to believe it, internalize it, and fight it, fight back, they don't let me sleep. So I have my little radio and I'm like, okay, if you're not going to let me sleep, I'm going to listen to all these sermons. And then they just give up. Okay, Craig, thank you, my friend. We are going to party when this is all over. I can't wait for it. It's going to be one big, huge party. We should start planning it. We should start planning the party. Where is it going to be? And anyways, gracias, Jesus. Do you have, no, I have the gifts and go. You can look it in the show notes. Trying to say it was for your security. I'm just checking to see if there's any questions here. Hi, Kimberly, love you. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to prepare a wonderful show for you next week. I hope that I continue to have really good news. I know it's happening. Okay, so absolutely, God's in charge. Yeah. There's just so many comments here. I can't answer it all. But anyways, thank you so much for being here and for allowing me to fight for you all, for putting your trust in me. Thank you. And I'm sorry, Sean, I forgot. From next week on, I'm going to be playing the Targeted Justice newsletter. I urge you all, when you start a phone conversation, I don't have the entire text here, but it was in the Targeted Justice newsletter. You say, FBI criminals, go ask your boss, where is the probable cause for you to be listening in, that you're doing it illegally. I'm just making it up as I go along, because I tell them all sorts of insults. But it's important that you ask them, go ask your boss for the probable cause, for the evidence that you have to be doing surveillance and spying on me. You're violating your oath of office. You know, you can just get all poetic like I do. And the point is that since all those calls are being recorded, because these criminals record your calls, you know that, right? They record your calls and then they transcribe them, but they transcribe them putting wrong words. That's what's going to be wonderful, because when you get access to your records, you're going to get to listen to those recordings and see the transcripts that these criminals did in order to go to the FISA court and lie under oath saying that they have to spy on you a little bit more because you're a threat. That's going to be wonderful. So yeah, so make sure that you, for the FBI recording, you tell them you have no probable cause, you need an Article 3 court warrant, you are doing illegal surveillance on me, and go get a life. Okay, anyways, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next week.